ask you a question. Are you married? Are you seeing someone? Even if you are or you're not, I'm sure you'll agree that sometimes you need someone to set up a date or to act the matchmaker. So, if you're married or if you're seeing someone, perhaps it's a friend who has introduced both of you, or maybe a kind relative who feels you're right for each other, or you have hired a professional matchmaker who compares everything, all the boxes ticked, and then introduces you to each other, and then you take it as it goes. And hopefully, if everything is okay, you decide to tie the knot. This is fascinating territory, and as Indians, everybody knows that many of us have marriages which are arranged by matchmakers, but it seems that even rich, no, really rich, no, wealthy HNI New Yorkers also approach or appoint a matchmaker to find the exact spouse or match for them. Yes, I'm talking about the brand new movie which has hit the Indian screens, and the name of this movie is The Materialists. So, without further ado, I would like to share my thoughts on this movie. Disclaimer, I am no film reviewer, so I'm not going to be giving any rating. I'm somebody who loves to watch movies, and I especially love movies which leave you with that feel good factor. So, the very experience of going to a movie theater with the popcorn and watching all those wonderful scenes unfold on screen, it's literally magic. And therefore, I've been dying to tell you all about my thoughts about the movie The Materialists. So, let's dig in. You know how we say it's a materialistic world, or that person is really materialistic. So, seems that there is a real word, an adjective, which is materialist, and it means somebody who values money and wealth above everything else, and really believes that wealth and money is extremely more important than anything else. So, first things first, if you haven't seen The Materialists, go and watch it. Do not miss it for anything. Trust me, you will thank me for the experience. It's a 170-minute movie, that's almost 2 hours, and you will love the way the movie flows, the way it starts, the way it ends, and you will have a wonderful time. Go alone, go with your spouse, go with your friends. You will enjoy this movie, friends. Do not miss it. So, coming to first what I loved about this movie. Now, I'm assuming that some of you have seen the movie, some of you have not seen the movie, but generally know what it is about. So, I'm not going to be very concerned or very anxious about spoilers, because most of you already know what the movie is about. So, friends, first I'm going to tell you the 10 things that I simply loved about this movie. Let's begin. Number 1, Dakota Johnson. She looks gorgeous. Her wardrobe, her hair, the way the bangs fall on her forehead, her accessories, her bag, the way she walks, the way she acts, that smile that conveys that she's aspirational, she's ambitious, at the same time, she has a large heart. Apart from this, just the way her character has been developed is a treat to watch. So Dakota Johnson looks gorgeous, You are going to love her on screen. That's my number one reason. Reason number two to love the Materialists. New York. I have been to New York, briefly of course, and one thing I can say is the way they have shown the spirit of New York is amazing in this movie. And you can actually feel both the sides. One is the rich, the privileged, the snooty, the entitled, and also the other side, the struggling, the aspirational, almost the loser, the common man. So I love the contrast which director Celine Song has shown in both the sides of New York. My reason number three, the quiet pauses, the slowness of the movie, the close ups, the way the camera halts on the eyes, on the face, on the expressions. Friends, I have to clarify one thing here. Actually, this is, in my opinion, this is not a rom-com. It's in a different genre of its own. If I could say, it's like a slice of life movie where you come up close and personal with a few characters and you become part of their lives and you're witnessing their journey, their moments of joy and sorrow, and you are left to your imagination as to what happens next. So, though yes, the movie has its own sardonic moments, it has its wit, it has its funny takes on the whole marriage saga, but I don't think it can be slotted into a rom-com the way so many other rom-coms have been in Hollywood. My reason number four to love the Materialists. I love the way they have shown the multiple clients of Lucy the matchmaker. The way they talk to her, they are very blunt with their expectations. And in fact, in one scene, Lucy says, I have seen all the reasons why people get married. So you see a rich guy wanting somebody who is in their early 20s. You see a woman very clearly saying, I don't want somebody, I'm a cat person or I'm a dog person. So it's extremely interesting and extremely fascinating to see that when you have a matchmaker and when you are trying to get the boxes ticked and you are clearly trying to find somebody who is compatible with you, well, it is actually like a business deal where you're specifying your haves and you are trying to match your haves with the other person's acceptability of those haves. Number five, to like the movie The Materialists, the music. I don't know how to describe. I'm not sure if it can be called a soundtrack because there are multiple songs, multiple tracks. You'll even find the presence of Madonna's legendary Material Girl in a different avatar though. And therefore, every time when the scene changes, when Lucy is going through different emotions, when she's on the street, when she's in the office, when she's enjoying a romantic moment, the music just goes along with that. And it's a treat to watch and hear. My number six to like the movie. The way the things are implied. Now everybody knows that Celine Song's previous movie, Past Lives, was and is extremely different from this one. So I love the way the director has handled the characters, all the four characters I would say. One is Lucy, the matchmaker, who has really come up the hard way, has left behind her acting career and is extremely ambitious. She's aspirational. She's extremely sincere in her work. She's a go-getter. So the way they have handled that character. Again, Harry, who is extremely wealthy, he's into finance. And the easygoing style and laid back aura of somebody who is really, really rich is beautifully handled. Then we come to the third character, John, who is Lucy's ex-boyfriend. And he really hasn't progressed much still living life in a small apartment, and his angst and his the way he's tormented by whatever is troubling him is beautifully handled. And the fourth character in this movie is the client list of Lucy's matchmaking service. The way they have handled multiple characters is really, really fun to watch. Number seven, for me to love the Materialists, the locations. There are two types I would put it. One is the decor of Lucy's apartment, of her office, that's the office of Adore, the matchmaking agency. The lavish and extremely elegant apartment, a $12 million apartment belonging to Harry Castillo. The down and out apartment of John, very noisy, dirty. He's living the life that he's just wants to get off of. And of course, they have shown one of Lucy's clients, Sophie, her apartment is also partly shown. So one part is the decor of all these apartments, which is perfectly synchronized to match the character who is actually portrayed in the movie. And the second, and my absolute favorite, is the locations in which the movie has been shot. In fact, I would love you to go to a link. I've given that link in my description. I recently read a Condé Nast article where they have described the locations where Harry takes Lucy to all those fine dining restaurants and the sushi restaurants. And of course, Lucy also meets her clients in a cafe. And I will be coming more to that. But first, I really, really want you to appreciate the locations of this movie. So coming to the locations, the production designer Anthony Gasparo, I'm just reading the names, and set decorator Amy Silver, they have described the locations as such. To name a few, Nobu downtown, Altro Paradiso. It seems Altro Paradiso is an actual favorite of Dakota Johnson's, and obviously they love to have a shoot there. Then there's another fancy restaurant called La Bea. So I hope I'm pronouncing it right. It's a Japanese French restaurant, and La Bea means bee in French. So there is quite a few shots taken in that restaurant. And another fascinating aspect is there's one restaurant which is called Sushi Ichimura, where Harry and Lucy go and have sushi in a very quiet and elegant atmosphere. Now, the fun thing is that this restaurant, if you check online, is going to close in August. So I feel that this is another kind of a take on the very reality of life, that everything is not permanent. Sometimes things that you love will stop, will cease to exist, and one has to handle it. So I'm not sure if that was in Celine Song's mind. If it was, well, it's a beautiful touch. Reason number 8 to love the Materialists. I spoke to you earlier about New York being the platform or the theme or the panorama where all these characters are meeting each other, loving each other, and the whole thing plays out. But I want to tell you a little about the location, starting with the place, the area where Harry has his $12 million super elegant and classy apartment. The name of this area is called Tribeca. And in fact, as I myself got to know when I went on the uptown and downtown buses on the hop on hop off bus in New York, which, just for anybody's information, is a fantastic way to see New York and enjoy the spirit of New York. So, as I'm reading out here, Tribeca is actually a syllabic interpretation of triangle below Canal Street. So, triangle, it is actually a quadrilateral made up of the four corners, namely Canal Street, West Street, Broadway, and Chambers Street. So, Tribeca is one of a number of neighborhoods in New York City, which is made up of these acronyms or these phonetic collaborations. To give you a few examples, and I'm again reading, there's the famous Soho, which is south of Houston Street. NoHo, which is north of Houston Street, Nolita, which is north of Little Italy, Nomad, which is north of Madison Square, Dumbo, down under the Manhattan Bridge overpass, and Bococa, which is a collection of names or neighborhoods starting with Borum Street, Cobble Street, and Carroll Gardens. Now, this I know is a part of the New York culture, but I just love the way the city has evolved. And in fact, just to share a little personal memory, I was there in December and I thought December was a fantastic time to go because everybody in New York was dressed up for Christmas, the city was dressed up for Christmas, and every single person walking on those streets looked terribly fashionable. Reason number 9 why I loved The Materialists. The way the movie opens. The first scene is amazing. There's a caveman and he is giving his beloved a tiny gift made up of flowers, I believe they are daisies, and some tools. And he looks at her with that look of love. And the location for this is the world famous Durango Caves in Mexico. Just as the scene finishes, the name The Materialists pans out in a typical noisy New York street. What a way to start a movie. Number 10, why I love the Materialists movie. The accessories shown in the movie. Let's start with Dakota Johnson's dress and her bag. You can check on the internet, her bag, that tote bag which she carries everywhere with her, it's said to be a Kalela distressed leather bag from the house of Ereo, which is a take on the word air. It's a Spanish brand, and it's said to suit the character of Dakota Johnson, who is Lucy. She's ambitious, she's on the go, she needs to keep a lot of stuff in that bag. And let me tell you how much this bag costs. So the tote bag which Dakota carries is the Kalela leather tote crafted in distressed calf leather. Kalela means little bay and is actually an area in Spain. How interesting is that? So the said bag has an open top and also comes with a detachable calf leather zip pouch. It's available at the official Erao website and is priced at only 590 euros, which roughly for my Indian friends adds up to 58,600 rupees. But you could own one. The costume designer is Katrina Danabasis, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, who acknowledges that yes, Dakota Johnson is gorgeous. So everything that was created for that look has been exquisitely planned, right from the strapless blue dress which she wears at the wedding, then the oversized blazers, her boots, her mini skirt, her bag, her hair, her makeup, her shoes and boots, everything has gone so beautifully with the character of Lucy that it's a delight to watch on screen. A few other luxury things mentioned in the movie and which I just love. If you watch, there are two, pun intended, there are two scenes. One is a scene where Harry Castillo is with Lucy in the big wedding, wearing a watch which is from the house of Jaeger LeCoultre. I think I'm pronouncing it right. And let me read out a little about this watch here. Pascal's character is seen wearing a selection of Jaeger LeCoultre watches, each chosen to reflect his refined, timeless sense of style, from the bold Rivorso Tribute chronograph, which is around $37,400 in 18 karat pink gold. And this watch has manual winding. Interestingly, the Rivorso Tribute chronograph features an hour display on its two dials with contrasting and complementary styles. There are two dials. The front dial displays the aesthetic codes of the Tribute line, and there's another which is more suited for a dressy kind of watch. There's another scene where he's with Lucy in a restaurant and he's wearing a master control chronograph calendar, which costs $33,300 US. So I think the way the director, the production assistants, the whole team has shown the character to be really in the skin of what they are projecting or portraying is really, really a study in filmmaking, and I just love the way they have projected it. The Materialists. Let me tell you a little about this movie. It stars an A-lister cast. The gorgeous and beautiful Dakota Johnson stars as Lucy, who is a matchmaker. She's trying to make it big in New York. She's extremely focused on her career and has decided that she will marry nobody who is not wealthy. So, very clear and very ambitious, aspirational. Then we have her ex boyfriend John, who is actually a poor guy, but he really loves Lucy. He's aspiring to be an actor, and to fund this acting dream does odd jobs like being a server and all that stuff. Then we have Harry Castillo, the handsome, the wealthy, super rich HNI, high net worth individual, finance person who takes a fancy to Lucy, really loves her, and really wants to marry her. And then the fourth character, which I mentioned, all the clientele that makes up the customers who approach Adore, the matchmaking agency, to get a partner for them. So, coming back, you must not miss The Materialists. Hollywood rarely makes movies like these, friends. Either you have superhero movies or you have movies with a dystopian look or a horror kind of look. Hollywood just doesn't make these movies nowadays, and I really wish that they would make more movies like these.